Hello people, it's me, Mr. Dan, at it again, and today we're gonna do a follow-up tier list video, which is basically like the most recent and first video on the channel, which I just ranked all legend units except Soractes, but here we're gonna do a real tier list with an actual high amount of units. Relatively, I think it's like 66 in this tier list. So basically, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna rank all rare cats except collab ones. Okay, it's gonna be a real long video in my opinion because I don't know how to I don't know really how to create videos, so this is gonna be pretty hard for me to publish. But yeah, aside from that, step aside and let me show how real tier lister does his job. Spoiler alert, I'm really bad. Oh, by the way, ignore all the ads on the screen. They're just here to make you rage. They're just here to make you rage. Anyways, Catasaurus. Ah yes, one of the most classic critters in the game. You can't beat metal stages without them, if you have them. I mean, you can kinda beat some stages without them, but it's best to bring him. He's not exactly a must pick, but he's like A tier. Thaumaturge cat. Okay, even though Thaumaturge helps in a lot of situations, still, it's not really that high, so I'm just gonna put B tier. It does outclass something like, I don't know, Super Cat or stuff like that. Anyways, Paris. Also A tier. Paris is like a really good choice for early game players and still stands strong in late to end game. Okay, maybe probably not end game, but really, Cyborg is really, and I say really useful. That's an A tier. Okay, Maximum the Fire. Don't go hating on me, but I think he doesn't deserve D tier or C tier. I think he deserves like a B tier. He's a solid meat shield, or solid red meat shield in my opinion. Jiangxi, in my opinion, S tier. It really counters single target enemies like Cappy, because simply Jiangxi has the ability to survive. Thus, he can stack better, which overwhelms single targeting units with very powerful attacks. Not to mention his cooldown is also fast and his cost is cheap. In some situations, he may even be better than using dual erasers. Chill Cat, B tier. Well, I don't hate Chill Cat that much, I just really don't like him. Because he doesn't get that much of a boost in his true form, but still solid against aliens. So yeah, that's a B tier. Okay, Dread Pirate Ketley. Okay, so he helped me cheese Merciless Onslaught 2 times. So, in my opinion, he's a B tier. He can also help in the first stage of. He can also help in Wrath of the Dreamer, where you can't use something like iCat or Rollcat install the initial board. Gomon Cat. I don't think he's the worst, and I say the worst rare cat in the game. He's a C tier. I mean, if you boost him enough, he can beat. He can solo Ziano, but unfortunately, you really won't max talent You really will max talent and pull level 50-80 on a C tier unit, would you? Sanzo, instant S. Like generally, I do not know a better rare crowd controller than Sanzo Cat. Because like if you think about it, just just think a little. If a floating enemy has relatively low range, or the same with angels, yeah, Sanzo's gonna really save you. Because like generally, Senzo is actually so good. So good. Like, I cannot even believe the fact that he literally is one of the best crowd controllers in the game, and he's easily accessible. Especially the fact that, if I remember correctly, it's only like 50 and P to get his talent. If not, then 75, but that's okay. Because that's an amazingly decent cost. This talent is almost as broken as Bahamut's new talent coming. This probably is gonna be outdated soon, isn't it? But, okay. So, now we have our first D tier. Obviously, it's gonna be Dr. Cat. Just kidding. I don't think it's D tier. I think it's C tier because just now I remembered the target relic talents. It can be used to cheese something like Zero Loser. It's actually pretty okay to use Dr. Cat. And if you don't have talented rodeo, but if you do have Dr. Cat, you can use them to deal with really tough enemies like, I don't know, Old Horn? Okay, Necrodancer. Instant A, there's no doubt. It highly carries you in like Mecha Bun, just by the plain fact that only you can basically solo, I think, the stage with only Necrodancers. I mean, you might not entirely solo it, but at least whittle down Mecha Bun's health to a really low level, like 20%. The only thing you need to do on Mecha Bun's level is just sack a bunch of Necrodancers, and then let your other anti-floatings do the job. But Necrodancer, if he wasn't here, the other units would just instantly die. So yeah, it also partakes in one of the best multi-cat combos in the game, Bony Bone, which you can pair up with Skelecat and Hyper Mister, and also Catasaurus, to basically get something broken, completely broken. I mean, free research and small research combos at once is wonderful, especially since it doesn't need any Ubers or something to work with this combo. So yeah, it's actually pretty good to have Necrodancer. Enchantress Cat. Again, this is one of the units that helps you in Wrath of the Dreamer. But enough talking about Baku. We're gonna put her in like C tier because, if I remember correctly, Boar and JK Bun Bun are the only enemies that actually need to be slow because they're menaces. But other than that, other red enemies are already slow or die easily, or just outrange Enchantress. So yeah, she's unfortunately a C tier. Archer cat, also known as Qatar. Well, remember when this was the worst cat in the game? Well, ever since his true form, he's actually been pretty decent. And he can actually solo Bun Bun. But be honest, no one's gonna have an archer that over a level. Especially, he also deserves C tier because it's the same situation as Goemon Cat, also known as Thief Cat. But yeah, Elemental Duelist. I mean, yeah, he's kind of good. It's kind of good, I guess. Yeah. I mean, there are other units that really just counter really well red units with using massive damage, but especially one we will see in this video later, but that's for another time. Okay, so he goes in like B tier. He actually could be considered as a meat shield, even though he doesn't have strong or resistant or something. He is actually really good against red enemies. Okay. Rodeo Cat. A tier. He helps you a ton with like Primeval Cyclone, Old Horn, an Ancient Curse. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, he can also slow. He can also slow black, but absolutely nobody cares. People only use Rodeo for without his talents, like for merciless XP with a really low chance of actually equipping him, and like Black Cyclone. Besides that, you'll probably never touch Rodeo again, unless it's for a really tanky yet slow relic enemy, or a really tanky yet fast one. Acrobat Cats. Unfortunately, yeah, another C tier for us. It's just not that good as an anti-angel. And while his surge can be overpowered, because the surge can also knock back, let's be honest, it's not that broken. Because some angel enemies actually have really high knockback counts. Just like black enemies. But why? Why else would you use Acrobat Cats outside of like Angel Cyclone? Tin Cat, D tier. The absolute worst. Like, it's just Acrobat Cat's case, but worse. Even though he has the dodge talent inside of the surge talent, which is actually somewhat helpful, but it's just not worth it. Especially since like even more black enemies have more knockbacks than angels do. So it's just not worth it to use Tin Cat, unless if you want to cancel a black enemy with really long attack animation. But I don't think there are any of them, except for like Kurosawa or anything. Ramen Cat. You already know who this dude is going to. You already know. S tier, baby. Yeah, there's no way that Ramen Cat could be any lower. He's genuinely one of the best overall meat shields in the game. If you boost him enough, he doesn't become a meat shield just for angels. He also can really tank other enemies. And the best part, he also has insanely good DPS for a meat shield. And since he's tanky, that basically means that he can also really help against enemies. He hard carried me in like Uncapped Promises. That actually is pretty good because Uncapped Promises, it's that level where you will have to spend like 800 energy for a single play. Yeah, it's actually so bad. And the worst part is that if you don't destroy the base fast enough, guess what? Infinite doges come out. And they're hyper buffed. So yeah, that basically means you just waste 800 energy. But I beat it first try thanks to Ramen. Like, Ramen really helped me in this level. And by the way, let me just have a break real quick. Oh, never mind. Anyways, cameraman. Also S. It's basically like the better version of Cyborg. More DPS, strong against floating, and cheaper. You know what the best part is? There's low so they can stack better. That's actually really good. They carried me in Little Lion, man. Cameramans carried me. Okay, Psycho Cat. B. I mean, he is useful against some aliens, but like, it's just a slightly better version of like Enchantress, but for alien. So it's not that worth it. Even though I have this true form, the thing that puts it above Enchantress, it's because it has a really good talent, Slow Zombie, which is basically like Clown Cat, but better and has more range. So yeah, sorry, Clown Cat. Okay, next one. Oh yeah, Weed Whacker Cat. Sorry, C. Sorry, I just really don't know what to say. Weed Whacker is just not that reliable because even though he has a crazy fast attack rate, it's just suffering the same fate. Why did I say fat? It's just suffering the same fate as like Cat Tornado, which even though it attacks fast, really fast, it has a really low proc rate. Because if I remember correctly, it's like 5% or something that Weed Whacker freezes zombies. I just really don't like it. I used I only used Weed Whacker Cat correctly in Cyclone and when I rolled them really early game. Okay, that's enough of that. Ectoid Cat. Ectoid could be better because even though he does have like a Savage Blow and I think target alien talent, nah, not worth it because he has a multi-hit of I think 3. That basically means that if one of the Savage Bulls lands like the weaker attack, that basically means that you're wasting that Savage Bull, and that's actually really unsatisfying because you want Savage Bull to activate in like a higher higher damage attack. So, in other words, Ectoweight is not that useful. C tier. I did use him in Cyclone, true though. Catalyte. Honestly, another S. He's goated, dude. He carried me into the future. There's no way you can offend my little Catalyte. It's actually so shocking that Ponos can make a really good anti-alien meat shield. He's not the best at all aliens, but against star aliens, he's good. For more information of who's the best alien meat shield, go watch Early Morning Humor's The Best Meat Shields for Every Trait video. Belly Dancer. Oh man, this is actually such a unique meat shield. There's no way you can tell me that Belly Dancer is bad, because it actually has a really reliable dodge rate. And the thing is that target Aku talent absolutely puts Belly Dancer in a really high spot for the tier list, which is A. There's no way. This is one of the most unique meat shields ever. Just like Brainwashed Mohawk. I mean, even though Belly Dancer can just dodge 2 traits, and the Brainwashed Mohawk can dodge 3 traits, still, it's amazingly good by the fact that, like, Belly Dancer is actually easier to get. So basically, that means that you're basically getting the best red meat shield very easy. And even though you only unlock Growing Epic after beating an Ancient Curse, guess what? It's only 1 Epic Catfruit Seed. You don't need like 5 or anything. It's just 1. By the way, I'm gonna take another break. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, Shigong. I think it's the last rare gacha cat we covered today. And yeah, it is. Shigong is another easy goated S tier. Just by the plain fact that someone thought making Catalyte but better and for zombie is just insanely good. Like, you cannot tell me that he has a vulnerable point. He carries through Dabu, man. Dabu would have absolutely killed us, massacred, and even might cooked us if we didn't never have, like, Shigong. Shigong is wonderful. I cannot express my feelings on how good Shigong is. Especially that slow immunity made specifically to counter the boo. It's just so good I can't explain this. I would cry. I would die for Shigong Cat. Anyways, forget about all that I just said. Oh, then now we're gonna move on to the non-gacha cats. Quizmaster, in my opinion, B. He does help a little with, like, I don't know, Metal Cyclone. He isn't that reliable with a knockback with its area attack. But the thing is, he's not that useful in stuff like Floor 28, where you just want to keep your critters away from the backliners. But yeah, that's it. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our first monthly cat, which is the well-known Rampage Cats. Rampage Cats is actually a pretty unique meat shield, which has range. It doesn't have any particular abilities outside of Warp Immune, which, to be honest, nobody even uses. Nobody even uses Rampage for that reason. But the range meat shield is actually pretty good. Like with the Delphina and Cory, where you can, like, keep a safe distance away. And it's pretty stackable. And the DPS is also pretty good in my opinion. So yeah, another B tier. Okay, sorry people, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to put Ritual Cat in D tier. Yes, our second D tier in the whole video. You know why? I'll tell you why. Even though he has an amazing cat combo called Cosplay Fans with another Uber, which is from the Galmon set, unfortunately, really, you won't get an entire Uber just for like one specific cat combo outside of like true exceptions, which are like I don't know, bad guys and cheating hard. Those cat combos are actually pretty good. But still, don't go gambling just because of a virtual boost in a cat game. And yeah, it's pretty sad that Ritual Cat is just not good at all. Sashimi Cat, C tier. Listen, I know he's good because of cat combos, true, but like, yeah, that's the point of the monthly cats. You don't use them most of the time. But his cat combo is actually easier to get than Cosplay Fans. Which is the cat combo with, like, I don't remember, was it Sushi Cat, Fried Shrimp Cat, or Rural Cat? Anyways, we'll just assume it's Rural Cat. Because it has an amazing combo of Rural Cat, which I think is a starting money up medium. Which is actually really good. Like 500 at the start of the level. Hole male. Okay, Space Cat. It's, I mean, he gotta be at least like B tier because I don't know exactly what you want me to say about Space Cat because he's actually like pretty good as like a ranged critter for early game, and he can also break barriers in the second form, so he can actually help you in Cats of the Cosmos. Oh, and quick notes, he also helps you to get like Crazed Fish Cat, which is basically one of the best Crazed Cats in the entire game. Just by the fact that it literally just like demolishes most sages that early game players would normally get stuck on. Okay, Adult Cat, A tier. Adult Cat or Prisoner Cat is another monthly event cat, but he's not used for his cat combos. He's used by the fact that he's a long range and strong against red unit. And that is actually really good because he can counter enemies like Professor A or something like that. And by the way, Professor A is a real jerk. And even though the Little Cat Awakened Sage hasn't even appeared yet in this month, I just hope it comes soon so I can at least use Prisoner and Mina stack and kill Professor A. Because the problem isn't even Little Cat himself, but enough ranting about Little Cat. Now our next one will be Gentleman Bros. Yeah, that's it. It's just a B tier. I mean, what do you want me to say about it? He's got good cat combos. He can freeze with red with a relatively cheap cost. I mean, normally he's used for only his cat combos, like almost all other monthly cats. But to be honest, freeze against red and being cheaper than iCat and probably more cooldown efficient too. Yeah, that's basically it. It puts him in B tier. Near letter C, 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 C. If I remember correctly, he doesn't have that. He only has like 2 good cat combos, and I mean, Wave in his true form. What are you gonna use him for? He's even more cash draining than Paris Cat, because Paris only has like 900 cost. Near Aladdin, 975 cost, and he dies quick. Does no damage at all, and not even his wave is good. Like, bro. Okay. What do you want me to say like about Noodle Cats? It's a good critter, but it unfortunately goes in C by the fact that even though it's resistant to metal and can actually make a pretty good meat shield until you get Future or a Primordial Cat. Yeah, to be honest, it's not that good. Because they have a short range and can actually quite drain your money. Anyways, Maiden Cat. This cat is made different just by the fact that it has actually really good cat combos, and one of them is Punch Punch Punch, which even though you require an Uber for it, it's actually pretty good. And there's even a stretch of floor 30 with it. And it also has really good other cat combos. Some of which I think are like strong strong combos. I don't remember, but the combos are really good. B tier. Kiss and Koi. I mean, yeah, another combo slave, but unfortunately, it's like a C tier. Okay, Madame de Savannah, another combo slave, but this time it can actually be used as a good meat shield because it has a lethal strike survive ability. So yeah, B. I know we're going through a lightning round with these monthly cats, but to be honest, they don't really have anything going on for them. Call center cat, B tier. I mean, it can be used sometimes. Not really a combo slave, but yeah, that's it. Decent. And then we have Puppet Master and Charlie are really unreliable once you be second dimension's revenge, which is the third dimension, because you get Curry Cat, which is the true form of Ballet Cat, which has slow against metal for 1 sec, but it's 100% guaranteed. It's not a proc like Puppet Master and Charlie. And if you stack them, you can actually perma slow something like Sir Metal Seal. So yeah, unfortunately, Puppet Master and Charlie finds themselves at C tier due to power creep. Oh, and by the way, we have probably the worst monthly cat, also known as Kite Cat. He's an anti-zombie with long range, but the thing is, even Akuma Lion is better than this absolute piece of garbage they call a monthly cat. His combo, he only has one, and I say just one good combo. And to be honest, even though it is kind of reliable, still C tier because of the combos. Anyways, Kung Fu Cat X. Yeah, I think it's like a B tier too. But I don't think it's that good. Hoop Cat, B tier. Yeah, he's pretty good. With, like metal for freezing them, and yeah, he can really help. That's it. Anyways, cat card P D tier doesn't even have a combo. Doesn't even have at least one combo, and its stats are terrible. Just user rank dump and kind of a trophy of collection or something like that. But it's just not worth it. Cattle Lantern, also known as Harbinger Cat. I mean, he's kind of a B tier because if you don't have Bomber Cat do the school, you might actually be better off with. You might actually be better off using Harbinger, even though behemoth enemies, black behemoths are like immune to freeze. Yeah, he has behemoth slayer, so even if the freeze doesn't work, you still have at least that 2.5 more, 2.5 times more attack. Moki Cat, mediocre for weakening metals, only good with like metal seal or like metal cyclone. Yeah, he's a D anyways. Even though he does partake in the take me out cat combo, it's just not that good. And oh god, we still have all these left. Okay, lightning route, Soren cat C tier, radical cat B tier, green shell A tier, eggy cat D tier, curry A tier, glass also A, tourist also A, future S, obviously. Naga Cat, A tier. Cadaver Bear Cat, S tier. Rugby, B tier. Aqua Researcher, A tier. Courier Cat. I'm gonna pause for a minute and just talk about Courier Cat. Listen, you think you can create a better egg unit than this? It deals 10 times more damage to red behemoths, and even though there are only two, god, he counters those really well. And he's not only also good against red and behemoths, but he's also good at clearing out some peons or even like cheesing stages because of his long distance. So yeah, easy S tier. Now back to the lightning round. Cat Tarzan, B tier. Same with Gas Mask. Surgeon, D tier. Reke, D tier. Mushroom, S tier. Uh, Chief Cat, A tier. No, wait. It's more of like a B tier, right? Barrel Cat. I mean, he's a good meat shield against Aku. A tier. And Farm Boy, C. That was amazingly slow. But yeah, thanks for watching. And I mean, goodbye.